submit to the grip of all these bred vampires who grimly to share. Unstable cells in concrete face still surge. All of us wear the scars of nature's purge. Are we the lucky ones clinging on to life? Are we the lucky ones tucking out of the left of sight? Divided one by one, finding favor on the edge of the night. Are we the lucky ones clinging on to life? The last few leaves waiting to fall, seems fortune's frozen for us all. Frozen for us all. Wake up to the jive of the bell. No sweat, now I'm feeling swell. Gee golly, it's a beautiful day. You're gonna burn my troubles away. I'm going nuclear, light up the town. The walls that hold me are melting down. I'm rising up like a mushroom cloud. I'm going nuclear, light up this town. That's right. Fire up now, I'm having a blast. Cool kids, baby, it's a gas. The airwaves of a galaxy, all the stars are singing me. I'm going nuclear, light up the town. The walls that hold me are melting down. The streets and sidewalks on my playground. I'm going nuclear, light up this town. Get the touch, Jack. Got it now. Got it now. Got it now. I'm going nuclear, light up this town. The walls that hold me are melting down. I'm rising up like a mushroom cloud. I'm going nuclear, light up this town. Oh, come on away to the city, a kingdom to behold, where the bluest skies they float on by the streets all paved in gold, where under the smiles fair and pretty our teeth so very white, into the bones of our burdened necks they bite. Baptized in the water, you're draining the well. You built up your heaven on the back of hell. Divine is the daughter, the dream that you sail. You built up of your heaven on the back of hell. Breaking all beds, so breaking down stones, raising all the buildings, breaking down bones. Work all the night and work all the day. Don't get a choice, man, don't get a say. Well, there's a storm cloud stirring now. Remote. Well, there's a storm cloud stirring now. Remote. Tear it down. The filthy streets and the callous feet and the bloodshot Irish eyes, a floating haven for the craven nestled in the skies. Well, up and out and away we turn, there's a fight outside your door. The shining pride of America is a nation up for war. Revolt. Baptized in the water, you trade in the whale. You built up your heaven on the back of hell. Divine is the daughter, the dream that you sail. You built up your heaven on the back of hell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've just got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that our addresses have changed. Our Twitch channel has changed from Senstaku to twitch.tv/FinalShowFilms, and our YouTube channel has also changed to youtube.com/FinalShowFilms. Next, we want to thank our $20 tier supporters on Patreon, which is patreon.com/FFilms, by the way, if you want to go throw a couple bucks our way. That's going to be Cat, Waterflame, Antitonic, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee. Thank you guys for that. Also, our website is in the process of getting updated, so go take a look at finalshowfilms.com. We've got Mara and Jeremy are working on updating all of our stuff there, making it look nice and like a modern website, and frankly, they know what they're doing far better than I or Austin ever did. So if you want to check out the things that are changing over there, you go do that. Follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films for updates for all future things, including things that are going on with our website and going on with the Patreon page, and things that are going on live as we stream them, as well as our podcasts and everything else. So thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day. And we're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a week because last week I had no internet. Thank you, AT&T.
Fuck you, 2019.
Welcome back to Terminus Tendency, this Hunters of Vigil campaign chronicle. World of Darkness calls it Chronicles. And we will go ahead and return from whence we left off after our party of hunters. There's really no better term for it. Our party of hunters delved deep into the underground beneath Atlanta and encountered a den of strange shadow beasts alongside some of the werewolves and vampires of the city, working alongside them in a tenuous alliance.
I gibbed one of them.
And also encountering a bit of a street war among the changelings while waiting there. But let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Jeremy.
Hello, my name is Jeremy. I am playing Nina Sky, a Union Rockstar person.
And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I am playing Eamon Mulcahy, one of the Irish murder hobos.
And John.
I'm John. I'm playing Sean Mulcahy, Exploder of Werewolves.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I am playing Drew, the Lucifuge.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Astrid, Knights of St. Adrian.
And Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig. I'm playing Paul Phillips, Aegis Kaidoru acquisitions expert.
But before we get back into that, I'm going to keep this habit up as best I can. As we look ahead to an undisclosed location at some point in the future, as a group in a shadowed room continues the debrief. And so, remember what I said about things being a little muddled? Well, here's the next step in it. You've got a vampire who is a relative of one of our agents who has demonstrated an amount of reluctance to partake in what we would typically consider the monstrous actions of his ilk, and who has demonstrated an amount of loyalty and desire to do good. And that creates a bit of a moral quandary. And, well, it's not exactly a quandary that gets answered easily. And I think we'll have to go ahead and dive right into the long talk. And with that, I believe most of you were going to get some ice cream and then adjourn back to the hideout for an evening's rest after a fight with a bunch of shadow werewolves.
Was certainly Paul and Colleen's plan.
But there is one person who is headed to a different location with an injured vampire who has a long talk that she needs to have with said injured vampire. So let's deal with that real quick. As Astrid, as you and Archer drive through the night to where are you headed?
Back to her place. She has a townhouse just outside of Lawrenceville.
Mm-hmm. And by just outside of Lawrenceville, do you mean a specific townhouse that I have been to and that you have
Possibly.
been to? Okay, yeah. So you drive just past Lawrenceville proper, past the city square, and sort of take a turn off of a highway down a one long particular road, and there's a Walmart off to one side, but there's also this series of townhomes off to the opposite side. And you sort of pull down one of these alleyways and find the townhome that is at the very back, not quite the back, but most of the way at the back of this long stretch of just towered, of like tiered houses. And there's this one particular townhome at the very back that is, is just sort of a living room and then a set of stairs up and a kitchen past the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And so you pull up to this house as Archer kind of leans back a bit, and as the vehicle comes to a stop, lurches forward.
You doing okay?
Yeah, about that drink.
Yeah. She'll help him off the bike and inside.
Yep. I'll follow you inside.
She will go, and she just has an area with basically every alcohol imaginable, and she will just grab a bunch of bottles and put them in front of him.
She kind of reaches out and just grabs a whiskey.
And she'll grab a tequila.
Fortunately, I have enough blood in my system right now that I should be able to last for a few days. As long as I don't expend too much of it trying to heal my wounds, which means this has to go slowly.
She'll take a deep breath. I have a million questions for you.
Fire away, he says as he opens up the whiskey and starts to drink.
Not sure where to start.
I mean, there's only so much that I can tell you about Vampire Society as a whole because I'm still kind of new to it, but...
Where do you get your blood from?
Usually animals, small animals, rats. But aside from that, usually volunteers.
What do you mean volunteers?
Well, Alexander's got a bit of a following. People that he's helped out throughout the years who know a little bit of what it's like and know a little bit of Beyond the Veil. Sorry if that's a big secret you guys are trying. And sorry, I know that's a big secret. I was part of the Veil, part of the Vigil. But there are some people who know a little bit more, who know that there are those who need blood to survive, even if they don't know a lot of details. And they willingly provide a little bit of blood in exchange for what we've done, for who we've helped, is just sort of acknowledgement that we needed to survive and that they've earned our trust and we've earned theirs.
How did you meet Alexander?
That's a long and complicated story, but when I came to, I was alone. The person who had sired me was gone. I don't know where, I don't know how, but they were gone. And I later found out that they were dead. So there wasn't a lot that I could learn about what I was experiencing. But I was sort of on the brink of losing my mind, trying to not feed off of people because I thought that the only way that I could do that was to kill them. And I didn't know that I could feed off of animals. But as I was in the middle of trying to hold on to my sanity, he just kind of wandered into me and helped. Apparently that's sort of what he does, is help people who don't have someone to introduce them to this world, who don't have anyone to tell them how this works.
So have you been with him since?
Been a few months.
Okay.
But yeah.
Have you killed any innocents?
That is a good question. I don't think anyone that I've been in a firefight with and has been trying to shoot me has been innocent. But I'm not exactly a man to judge, he says, indicating the tattoos, considering, fallen from God. But no, I've never just drained a random civilian.
Okay.
Fortunately, Alexander has found me before I was pushed past that breaking point.
What are you and Alexander doing exactly?
Trying to pull people away from the Colonel. Anyone who has half a conscience left after being raised. And trying to do what we can. He's looking for a tool that'll let vampires just control the day, which means they will no longer have their greatest weakness. And we want that to not happen, because as much as we would like to walk in the day, we understand that not all the vampires would be willing to be sociable and polite with that freedom. So it's just something that we have to deal with.
Have you met the Colonel?
Only in passing. I did not interact with him for more than about a half minute because as soon as I saw him, I wanted to leave. And I did.
Why did you want to leave when you saw him?
He's got a bit of a presence. And it's sort of one that just tells you that he is dangerous. I don't know if it's just a sense that vampires have for other vampires, but he's powerful and dangerous and ruthless. And I got all of that from about a half second of looking at him. He just kind of breathes killing intent.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain given half the choice, he would kill every mortal just because he wanted to.
Do you know anything more about the Colonel?
I know he came from abroad, and by abroad I mean Europe, and by Europe I mean very old places in Germany. Apparently, from what research our people can do, he was around in the Second World War and was an active member, if not just the Wehrmacht, the actual, specifically the SS, which means he's an old officer.
I think that's most of what I have for now.
Who are your friends?
It's a group that Jonas put together.
I saw Jonas was there. Where is he now?
I have no idea. I have to ask the others if they found out anything. He came with us. He's the one that told me that he found you.
Mm.
But I have no idea what happened to him.
I mean, he's not normally the kind of guy to just disappear.
No, I'm kind of concerned about that. I don't think he would just go into the sewer and then vanish.
Okay.
But like I said, that's probably something I'll have to call the others on.
Mm.
That is one more question I had for you. Back at the mall, when you saw Eamon, you said you'd seen him before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been keeping an eye out for you. I've been trying to see where you've been active. I've been looking out, just trying to keep an eye. And I saw your friends. I don't know a lot about them, but I saw that they were with you. So I've seen him once or twice.
Right. I think that's everything I've got for now.
Conserving blood sucks, he says, just kind of leaning back and trying not to press into his wounds.
I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't want a pint from you. No, thank you. My sister.
That's not what I meant. I mean, I love you, but I'm not going to give you a pint.
I wouldn't want it. The act of drinking from someone is a little intimate and not something I would want to have with my sister.
Awkward.
I'm also picturing.
I'm sure that's not going to come up again at Thanksgiving.
Sean and Eamon at this point in a bar. I love you, but I'm not going to give you a pint.
Your own fucking beer, you shitwipe.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break the moment.
It's fine. No, I appreciate that, I think.
No, it's honestly it'll heal on its own. I'm a little bit more resilient than an average mortal now.
I think I'm probably gonna try to get some rest. I mean, call the others and see if they found out anything about Jonas.
I'll be up all night and I'll be asleep by morning. So, is there a place that's really insulated from sunlight, like a dark closet somewhere? I don't know.
Yeah. She'll take him like into her room, and the closet's pretty big in there, and there aren't any windows.
I mean, as long as you're okay with me being literally in your closet.
That's fine. Just
new definitions of monster closet every day.
We will unpack
very
that.
different jokes there.
We will unpack that in therapy over the next year and a half.
Meanwhile, somewhere else, the Irish brothers are attacking blasting caps onto the end of a hammer. Because zip snakes.
Once he's settled in, she's gonna call probably Eamon.
Oh, while that's been going on, the rest of the group has been going out for ice cream.
So, to be fair, the way that it ended, because I actually went back and looked, because it's been
It's been a couple of weeks, yeah. So please inform me as well, because it's been a couple of weeks.
Drew took Colleen in to go up to the apartment for showerage. Paul asked where the other shower was. Nina said it was in the warehouse area. She went that way. The brothers went on their way, and Nina turned and went back into the warehouse.
I thought there was some comment made about how we're going to get washed up and then go out for ice cream.
Yeah.
But I know that the brothers
we didn't actually leave, because we ended before we decided on going anywhere. We ended after we had finished having a discussion about whether or not we were going to relocate.
Yeah, there was an argument between Nina and the brothers regarding whether Nina would ever consent to using the church as a safe spot.
Definitively no.
Yeah.
So we pick up over there as the rest, as Colleen is taking a shower, as Craig is taking a shower, as as Paul is taking a shower. Sorry, your name isn't in the Roll20 chat, so I just read.
Let me switch and make sure it's displaying character name.
So you go into the gear thing, and then you change your.
No, I got it. I just hadn't done it yet.
No, in the display of like names on the.
Any different now?
Yeah, I mean in the display of names on the bottom left, where it's got like everyone's like.
Anyways, that can
what
be.
What name you have in chat is irrelevant.
Yeah, that all right. I will fix that as we were doing it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Look over at Eamon, who's still in the van. At least he was last time we checked. Are you gonna get out and have a shower, or do you want to go with me while I go get some more ammunition and have a shower there? Because you smell to high heaven.
Well, I've been fucking crawling around in a sewer all night.
I noticed.
Not all of us gets the soft job of sitting up on a rooftop every once in a while, you know.
True. Also, not all of us can blow up a werewolf, but I did it.
Well, and yes, points being what they are, I'm sure that your 1 counts roughly equivalent to my 2, given the size discrepancies and the like.
So you wanting to shower here or you wanting to shower there, is what I'm asking.
I'll come with you. Best we not be wandering around by ourselves tonight.
Because I need to get my special ammunition. I'm driving towards the church.
Mm-hmm. He'll just text the group. Headed to the church, headed to Our Lady for a resupply, meet back at the apartment ASAP.
Get me to the church on time.
I played that role and I sang that song.
Yeah.
Very good, Mr. Doolittle.
I think Our Lady Lords.
What is Nina up to while this is going down, while everyone else is taking showers?
Nina just sort of watches everybody goes into her apartment, or not into the apartment, the warehouse, and it can probably be her okay in the in the apartment, but Paul in particular can hear it exceptionally well as he's getting a semi-impromptu shredding concert.
She just grabs one of her guitars and goes to town.
He's working some shit out right now.
Yeah. Music therapy.
Yes.
What is Drew up to after Colleen is squared away with a shower?
Probably not much, though. This may be about the time where he has enough time to look at and actually realize what the cushions on the couch say.
Yes,
if
because
that's actually canon.
Yes, I'm serious when I said that was canon.
Yes, because as has been determined over the course of the past week, all of the couch cushions in Nina's apartment have the satanic pentagram with the goat face, and it just says "Hail Satan" all along the outer ring where there would normally be the guard symbols.
And 666. There's some 666 in there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
The things you will find at Wizard World Portland.
So turning them over, realizing that probably doesn't work. Turning them all over.
It's the same thing on the back.
Okay.
It's double-sided.
I legitimately
so when Nina comes up, if she does, she'll find all of the cushions very politely stacked in the backmost corner of her closet.
But that'll be later because Nina's currently shredding.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just imagine like the opening few the opening chords of like "Hail to the King." Just
it's largely freestyle. She'd probably drop into some of her own music a little bit, but no, it is just very, very like the metal version of free jazz.
Yeah. I'm just sort of like in my mind for some reason the initial notes to me are just like Avenged Sevenfold's "Hail to the King," that opening moment where it's just the guy on the guitar is just going to town. So that carries on for a bit.
Yes, it does.
Based on where Our Lady of Lords is, which is, I want to say, northern end of Atlanta, or like mid-Atlanta, I want to say. Google Maps. Edgewood, right, because it's off of Edgewood Avenue. That is the entire point of that church.
Yep.
Central Atlanta. Yeah. So based on the fact that it's around Central Atlanta, everyone who is taking a shower will probably be done before the church van gets to the church. So as Paul finishes his shower and Colleen finishes her shower and steps out and dries herself off and puts clothes back on. What are you up to at first, Paul?
Paul has will get dressed in his sort of standard, at this point, standard uniform, just khakis and a checked Oxford shirt. And I think we'll come out, probably would be one of the first ready, just because he's sometimes a literal quick change artist. So is used to getting ready pretty quickly, and I think does it out of habit at this point. And we'll come out and put the kettle on to make probably a pot of coffee, just in case anybody else wants some. And we'll sit nearby, waiting for everybody else to come down and listening to Nina shred.
As Colleen steps out, she just kind of like listens for a second. Someone's really having a time with that guitar.
Yeah, I think this is...
3 guesses who, and the first 2 don't count.
I think this might be a form of therapy. Or maybe it's practice. Maybe she's got a gig coming up and hasn't told any of us. But I don't know about you all.
Google whether or not she's going to be performing anywhere, because I know her name.
I mean, you could look on the fridge where there's a calendar.
Is there a gig coming up?
No.
Okay.
I am
enough that rules that out.
That I don't bother to check the calendar.
I think the nearest gig's about a month or 2 out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you, but after the rest of this evening, I could certainly murder that ice cream we were talking about.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna just check for the closest ice cream place.
Let's see. Ice cream place near Hartsfield Jackson.
And what time of night is it?
It's probably about 3 a.m.
Did roll 20 crash for anyone else?
Still okay for me.
Nope, I'm good.
Still good.
It absolutely crashed for me.
Plains why I didn't respond to my whispers.
Yeah.
No, refreshing looks fine to me.
There's a Dairy Queen, like 15 minutes away, and there's also a place called Tasty Eats and Treats.
Yeah, this by the way is about the time the music stops.
Yeah.
In
she finally
universe,
walks
are
up.
there any places that would be reasonably open?
Yeah, that's probably. No, there is definitely like the one just like roadside ice cream stop that is open like 24 hours.
Right.
Because someone needs ice cream at 4 a.m.
Right.
So yeah, I'll sort of to Colleen primarily. Do you want to go by this place, or we could get ice cream at like Safeway and do stuff with Nina's bar?
Honestly, I just want something really sweet and like 3 layers of mixed flavors.
All right. Well, it looks like this place is still open, and that little corner place is that the closest.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I'm curious what Nina just held back.
You don't know.
I feel like I know out of character, but I'm not going to say anything because, geez.
How old is Colleen again?
16.
Yep.
We're all
that
aware of it.
perfectly well.
I wasn't, because I don't remember what her age was, because I have memory problems.
So yeah, Drew will probably, if Nina's come up, or seems like she's going to be coming up, we're thinking about going out to grab some ice cream. Colleen.
Awesome. I'm down.
Yeah.
Great.
Technically, age of consent. Not that makes that any weirder, any less weird.
No, that doesn't make it okay.
Nope, sure doesn't.
Also, technically, age of consent in Georgia.
Yeah, in Georgia, which is where you're at, but
yeah, age of consent is determined at the state level in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
We all are aware of this.
Yep.
Not everyone in the world, though.
I'm not sure why, but I've just gotten very uncomfortable. Let's get going.
Well, everyone, while you guys have got the time it takes for everyone to sort of gather themselves together and get ready to go, and then go hit the ice cream truck, we will go ahead and switch over for a minute to the twins as they reach Our Lady of Lords. As you pull up to the church,
park the van. Leave the sniper rifle in I said sniper rifle, right?
Yes.
For whatever reason, in my brain, I heard that as sniper rifle, and I was very like, wait, did I? What? This is how my brain works.
No, it was definitely sniper. There was a moment where it sounded like you were confused midway through, and it almost turned into schnauzer rifle.
Yes, I was confused midway through because my brain was mishearing what my mouth was saying.
Yeah.
Leave the rifle in the van. I'm still wearing like my cowboy preacher outfit, so whatever works. I'm heading down to the basement where my armory is, and also where I can contact, where I can call the guy that I had asked about, that I had asked to investigate the Vatican Library about the Crimson Veil on. See if there's any updates there. Because it's been a few days.
Yeah. So you Vatican and bullets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vatican Library update and bullets.
Yeah.
I'm specifically grabbing my dragon's breath rounds.
Okay. Yeah, you're true to that ammunition pretty quickly. I'm assuming you don't need to make a stop with Brother Seamus.
That's the person I had talked to about the Vatican Library, isn't it?
Yeah. He said he would contact someone. Yes. So I guess if you want to go through him, yeah.
Yeah. Seeing if he's heard anything back yet.
Was Brother Seamus at Our Lady of Lords?
No, he was at the secondary location further in the city.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So I think I'll call him then. I'll call him while Eamon's getting a shower.
Yeah, I'm scrubbing down and seeing if we had any spare blades laying around. Otherwise, what he's got.
I have a main gouge.
I mean, that's something.
Gesundheit.
If that's a spare blade.
Do you still have rented golf clubs?
You do.
Yep.
Did we not take those back?
I don't think so yet.
Are we running up a tab on our golf clubs?
Sure.
Right. Yeah. The Brother Seamus is right up the road at Basilica of the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
Yeah, I'll just call Seamus from the bunker while I'm. Well, and I was being serious about that. I am affixing a series of small hammers. Actually, no, I probably affix it to the. I'm affixing my stakes with a blasting cap on the end. I am making zip stakes.
Why wouldn't you?
Roll me a dexterity and crafts.
Just so I'm clear, is a zip stake what I think it is?
A zip stake is a stake that has a blasting cap on it, or some mode of propulsion attached to it that reduces the difficulty penalty for targeting the heart of a vampire when you're trying to stake a vampire. Because you basically put a blasting cap on the end of it, put it over their chest, and hit it with a hammer.
Yep, that's what I was afraid it was.
That said, it's also explosive in small quantities,
Right.
so there is the chance that
lose a
instead
couple
of
of
taking the
fingers.
vampire, you blow your hand off.
Yeah, but it reduces the penalty from -4 to -2. So.
Just makes
Right,
dramatic
cool.
failure.
3
Dramatic.
successes.
Name of the game.
Yeah, a dramatic failure on a zip stake hurts, certainly.
Yeah, you managed to put together, we'll say, a pair of zip stakes.
They are in the improvised equipment section of the.
Yeah, I have them here. Yeah. They are unreliable. Yes. That is their trait.
They have notes unreliable.
That seems well earned.
That seems exactly like something that you two would make.
Yes, it does. Okay, he's special.
Some vampire hunters basically load shotguns with stakes and use those as zip stakes.
What happened to the good old days of a hand crossbow?
Hand crossbows are very difficult to get to pierce the breastbone.
That's fair.
You got to get that force behind it.
Yep. That said, shotgun stakes are dumb.
It says you.
Shotgun stakes are very World of Darkness.
Some hunters build a zip gun around a 20-gauge shotgun shell and use the shell to propel a sharpened wooden stake the length of the gun's barrel, where retaining pins would hold it in place. Others put a blasting cap on the tip of a hammer.
It's a gun, Frank. A gun that shoots knives.
I don't think I haven't thought about that. It's just harder to implement.
Oh, by the way, in the improvised weapons is literally the hairspray flamethrower from the Changeling campaign.
Yep. It is in the improvised weapons.
I love that those comic book fans among us have trained you all well enough that all I have to do is say the quote and you immediately know what I'm talking.
Some things are memes, Jeremy, outside of their context. Guns that shoot knives has been a meme for a while.
Anyway. Yeah, you're able to finish 2 zip stakes.
All right. One for me, one for Eamon. And then, yeah, calling Seamus.
So eventually, the phone rings twice. Third ring gets halfway through before it's picked up. As I say, I think you're calling the Basilica of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. This is Brother Seamus. How can I help you?
Brother Seamus, this is Father Mulcahy. Calling about some information I asked you to look into.
Ah, well, Father, it's good to hear from you.
Good to hear.
About your particular inquiry, the Vatican has been looking into the information in which you have inquired through our sacred archives, and the information that we are able to find is that the last known location of this veil, the not so holy veil, was last known to be in the possession of one Vlad Tepes of Romania.
Do we have any idea where it might have gone from there?
That's a good question because, well, his castle's sort of been ransacked every, century or so. No, not even that, every decade or so, just from someone looking for something that he might have left behind, someone trying to...
Somebody get a hold of the Belmonts.
The Belmont.
Someone looking for anything that he might have left behind, and so place has been right thorough ransacked a few times over now, so it's hard to say exactly where it might have went.
All right, well, if you could spread the word out, have people keep an eye out for any information, I'd appreciate it.
Keep an eye out, and if you see any Wakians, stake him for me.
Certainly will.
We're out of fucking soap!
If you'll excuse me, I have a brother to tend to. Click.
Right.
It's in the basket!
Who put the basket over here?
You did!
No answer.
I'm going to call Paul while I'm sitting here working on some steaks and Eamon is getting a shower.
You said the name of the show almost.
Better call Paul.
Exactly.
I mean, you are the criminal element of the group.
So,
experienced one.
While you got
down the church.
While you guys are getting ice cream, Paul, your phone rings.
How's it going down the church?
Oh, it's going fine. Eamon's scrubbing the last bit of the werewolf muck out of his crotch. Anyways, you wouldn't happen to have any information from your folks about raiding the castle of one Vlad Tepes out in Transylvania way, would you?
Well, first, forgive me for doing my due diligence here, but are you shitting me?
No, well, it seems, according to the Vatican archives, the last proper known location of the Crimson Veil that our colonel's after was in the possession of one Count Dracula.
Just to be clear, this isn't on speakerphone, right?
One would hope not.
No, I think you
Okay.
just heard. I'm just doing my due diligence. Are you
I
shitting
just wanted to make sure.
me? Okay.
Colleen.
Hey, the motherfucker was Romanian. It's Tepesh.
Thank you.
The
All right. Paul. All right. Paul sort of covers the mouthpiece for a second. Pauses. And says, "Look, just one more time.
Right, so
Are you certain about this?"
according to the Vatican, the last known location of the Crimson Veil on record was in the possession of Vlad Tepes.
Thank you.
All right. It covers it back up, and looks at the others and says, "So supposedly the Pope says Dracula had the veil."
Wait. I need to be clear about this. Are we saying that either Bela Lugosi or Gary Oldman has it, or scary ass myth impaler guy?
No. Well,
The
look,
Impaler.
this things would certainly be taking even more of a left turn if Mr. Oldman has it. But no, I'm assuming alleged historical figure, that the Impaler is the one.
I guess technically it could be Gerard Butler too, but anyways,
Colleen had like a triple decker ice cream cone and is like halfway through it and just kind of stops and stares for a second.
Paul looks at her and said, "I'm assuming you haven't heard anything about Dracula either."
No.
Good Lord. Okay. Well,
fuck me.
I perhaps I've got some phone calls to make then.
He is dead, right?
Who?
Dracula.
As I'm trying to get my wits back about me now, can I make an intelligence and occult roll to see if I
want
know
to try that
anything about non-Hollywood Dracula?
I mean, I am going to assume that I have a fair amount of historical knowledge about Vlad Tepes.
Yeah.
But
make that roll because of who you are. Make that roll with a +1 because of your particular field.
Boy, that was out of a total of 6 dice. I got 0 successes.
You don't know if he's dead, Paul.
Intelligence and occult.
Intelligence and occult.
Got it.
Can I make the roll at a -2 for soap in the ears?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Paul just says, "Look, vampires aren't exactly my specialty. The most I know about them is the old Hammer Horror Show pictures. I always thought Christopher Lee was very good in them, but beyond that, don't have much more information for you."
Well, no, what we're looking for is less about Vlad himself and more if any of your people have ever, taken a foray into a castle out in the middle of fuck nowhere and found something special.
Right, and like I said, that's a phone call I've got to make, but I figured I'd pass it on to the others as well.
So Eamon and Nina, you both know that Vlad Tepes was an actual vampire, did actually die as a human. You don't know what happened to him afterwards as a vampire.
Okay. I'm going to assume, by the way, that this is all family cultural knowledge and not stuff I've picked up elsewhere.
No, yeah. You being actually Romanian.
Serbian, but...
Serbian, yeah. Sorry. General area.
Yeah.
And the person who knows stuff from occult books primarily.
Yeah, and then Drew, with your 4 successes, know that Vlad Tepes lived and died a long time ago, and as a vampire, was one of the major targets that a number of hunter societies was trying to deal with for a long time. But you believe, based on current Lucifuge records, that he was successfully killed a few centuries ago.
Vampire, yes. Allegedly, as far as these things are ever certain, definitely dead.
I mean, definitely a vampire.
Yes. Definitely a vampire. No longer considered an active target, which means either dead or somehow escaping notice or inactive.
So I would like to officially shift it to allegedly dead.
Yeah, Lucifuge records indicate that around the 1700s was when a collaboration of various hunter organizations teamed up to finally hunt down and put down Dracula, and were supposedly successful.
Dead or erased by collaboration to the point of not being a concern. Though I don't know what apparently the Vatican knows.
I also realized we didn't ask a potentially very important question. What sort of ice cream is the God machine eating?
The God machine's tethered.
I'm actually curious what everyone's ice cream orders are for the record.
Colleen went for a Neapolitan, not by virtue of the 3 flavors being mixed, but by each of the 3 flavors being an individual scoop on top of each other.
Yeah.
You got strawberry, chocolate, vanilla, individual stacks.
Paul is having mint chocolate chip.
Paul would have.
I figure it was either that or vanilla, but vanilla is too vanilla. So the least obtrusive ice cream flavor.
Vanilla's a little
in this
too
case
on brand.
Yeah.
Something like cookies and cream, a scoop of cookies and cream, a scoop of like something with cherry in it, and like green tea that has been all mixed into one soup.
Drew has just 2 in a bowl, 1 raspberry ice cream and 1 green tea ice cream.
Hey!
And Colleen just has hers in a cone and is just going to town.
So,
all right,
let's just back up and get a little perspective on this situation, because it just went from mind blown to fucking bizarre.
Right.
Why are we asking about Tepish?
Supposedly the
Vatican, so
yeah,
or drunk Irish.
Is that that was the last known location of this, whatever it is, that the vampires at least are calling the Crimson Veil.
Of course, because why wouldn't the thing that we need to get be in that?
Well, I would assume
presumably it's not there anymore, or people have credible reason to believe it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Sean, what sort of word do you have from the Vatican about the last known time frame that it was there?
The last known time frame seemed to indicate that was when he was alive. So, it's the castle has been ransacked over and over again over the centuries, over the years. So, at some point, it was removed. Just not sure when.
Do you mean alive, or?
Thank you for asking that.
Alive.
Vampire alive.
Alive.
So
Right.
1470s, 1460s era.
Yeah. I'm going to assume at this point Paul has just put this on speakerphone.
That's why I was.
so he's
That's why I was
relaying
calling you. That's why I was calling you, Paul. Figured if your folks might know if anybody was part of those expeditions that recovered it.
Right. And again, I just want to bring everybody up to speed, but then that's my next phone call. Anybody else have any other questions?
It doesn't strike me as entirely impossible that either by rumor or actual fact, a powerful artifact is located with a powerful figure. It tends to be how these things are recorded, at least.
Although, while he was alive,
William, I want to ask you, just in terms of general protocol, for this sort of thing, for information, would Paul call the labyrinth back home, sort of the central labyrinth in London, or would he call the local labyrinth?
If you're looking for really powerful artifacts, you would want to ask them the primary labyrinth.
Okay. All right. He probably has more contacts there anyway. Well, he certainly would have more contacts there anyway.
Other than that, you also know that they might not be willing or able to tell you based on how secure that artifact is, if they do have it, and if they don't have it,
yeah. I've got 2 dots in my conspiracy, so
you're respected among them.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm not inner circle. But
you're not top secret clearance.
Yeah. All right. So I think if the conversation has wound down to the point where nobody else has any other questions.
Give me just a sec. I'm gonna pull up my phone, open up a web browser, go to or app, however it's done. It's not specific in the book, and find a union chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Again, wait for secure, blah, blah, blah. Hey, does anybody know anything about Dracula? Like beyond movie, book, etc., etc., etc. Enter. Second post. No, I'm not joking.
Go ahead and roll me just to see who's around who might know something. Roll me presence and expression.
Also, really quick, while I've got everybody on the speakerphone, what's your preferred caliber of bullet?
Whatever I'm borrowing, I guess.
45.
I have a weapon that stabs people.
I don't know. All right.
Presence and
presence and expression.
And expression. Oh, good. I'm good at expression, and
You're
I'm good at
you're
presence.
good at presence too.
You know what? Just for fun, because why the fuck not? I assume we're going to sleep at some point. I'm gonna throw some willpower in for +3.
Cool.
5 successes.
Yeah. Are X's your willpower spent or your willpower available for you?
Huh?
Are X's for you on your character sheet your willpower spent or your willpower available?
Spent.
Okay, so you're spending your last willpower on that?
No, I already clicked the X.
Okay.
I had 2 left. I just spent 1.
Okay, you got 1 left. 5 successes. That's an exceptional success. So there's about a minute passes, and then an account that goes by the name of Neighborhood Watchman he pipes up with, I've got some basic information. What do you need?
Looking for... Okay, I know this is gonna sound weird, but looking for... I'll set an appropriate shorthand that I personally would never use. Looking for information about artifacts that might be associated with him and where they might be.
Well...
Yep, I'm working with one of those assholes.
Aegis people. Yes. Well, and there's a long period of this individual is typing.
Yep.
And eventually you get back. So there's a number of different artifacts that have been sort of pseudo-associated with Dracula over the years. Whether or not he actually had any of them on hand is a whole different story. But based on what can be narrowed down mostly by popularity of myth, it is rumored that at various points he held the Lance of Longinus. He held the Shroud of Turin. He was apparently very big on religious artifacts. And beyond that, he's known to have created a couple of artifacts of his own, including, from what I can tell, some kind of device designed to allow greater dominion over the sun. There's not a lot of details on that one.
Give me everything you got on that one. Theoretic, just for theory and research, of course. Nothing we need to worry about now. Smiley face.
Right, go to DEF CON 2. Good to know. And there's another long period of typing. Not a lot is known about it. In fact, the records that I can find don't even give me a name. But essentially, it was something that he held in his castle while he was alive, which is an interesting story because apparently it was something he was dabbling in before he became a vampire. So some kind of dark magic in his daily life. But afterwards, it was something that he took particular interest in and perfected, supposedly. And when his castle was getting ransacked, apparently at some point, somebody snatched it. It's hard to say whether it was a vampire or a hunter or someone else. Some people speculate that the mythological Van Helsing, the actual man himself, might have done it, but it's hard to say where it would have gone, but almost certainly out of the country and maybe to England, maybe abroad.
Right. Cool. Well, if you happen to hear anything, just let me know. Just again, random curiosity. I've been watching a lot of Francis Ford Coppola films. So, like I said,
DEF CON 2.
So yeah, so I'll look up as like, well, yeah, and sort of pass along that information. Big surprise, the man known as the Impaler before he became a vampire was a monster before then.
I think probably while that chat is going on, Paul is on the phone back home.
Yeah, so you call up. There's a lot of phone calls happening this episode.
Yeah.
Till I go to sleep.
Aegis Kaidoru.
This is the phone. This is the information gathering up. / ice cream gathering up.
Eamon's out of the shower.
Eamon, who's the fucker we go to for our ammo?
How about if we talk to the fucker that I go to for some clothes first?
I mean,
he's not wearing anything.
I point over at the closet. Take some of mine.
I don't like your fucking colors.
I mean, neither do vampires.
Yeah.
So, you call. You go through several secure channels. You give your relevant passcodes.
By the fourth time, Paul's like, "Yeah, it's Spanner. Yeah, I'm in the US. By blood of witch and wolf. Tatu Scotty say. Yeah, all right, let's go."
And eventually, you get put on the line with a crotchety old data pusher among the ages who you know as Crowley. Not the Crowley, because that man is dead a long time ago.
About the other Crowley.
Yeah, what
Or
you're
the
saying
other
that,
Crowley.
You're saying that he's talking to Mark Shepard.
Not Alistair Crowley.
Crowley, how you doing?
It's been a long day, mate, but what can I get you?
Well, you're not going to
The
believe
service dog looks very confused right about now.
Probably gonna wake you up a little bit with this one. What time is it there? Ain't it about 9 a.m?
Yeah.
Night shifts again. All right. Well,
you
listen,
caught me at the end of my shift. What do you need?
what have you got about spear activity out in Romania? The Tepish family castle.
People running raids on Dracula.
Yeah, that's right. I understand there's been a lot, but this one's supposedly coming from the Vatican, so might be some actual information for us.
You're looking for spear activity or anybody activity?
Well, I would guess spear, but maybe start there and see what else you got.
All right. And a few minutes go by. Looks like the last spear raid was about 10 years ago.
They pull anything out? Anything anything been looking at since then? Or
few things in boxes. Doesn't look like anything of superlative note.
all right.
I think we lost the lance. I don't know where that one went. My money's on the Vatican. Got it back.
Do me a favor. If you can tap into temple records, take a look and cross-reference those raids along with any other ones with anything referenced as the Crimson Veil. I'm not sure what that would be in Romanian, but pretty sure you can figure out at least some of the relevant translations.
Let's see what I got. Another few minutes pass by.
Nina Wilson, she's sitting there texting right now. We'll spit out whatever it is in Serbian. That might allow you to get a little bit closer.
Okay. Cheers. And he'll relay whatever it is that she just said.
That's what, Serbian? Okay. Similar. All right. And he kind of puts in some extra information. A few more minutes. Well, it looks like the last mention of something called the Crimson Veil was in a raid about 60 years ago. That raid was lost mid-contact.
Was that, if you've got anything a little bit more specific, was that during the war or right after?
Looks like it would have been post-war. And post-war, and the team was lost all contact after they had supposedly found the thing.
Any idea where the last location was? Were they in the castle when we lost contact, or had they gotten out?
Supposedly they'd fled the castle and were halfway through. They were heading towards Germany to get a boat, but didn't make it.
Any chance you could you can send me any of the records that you've got, Andy?
See what I can find. Yeah. Obviously hard copies ain't going to be a thing, but I'll see what I can send you over data.
Well, we haven't got several days for parcel post. No, whatever you can send me by email be brilliant.
All right. Looks like that raid in particular was a joint operation. We had spear activity and also Vatican, and also devil folk, and looks like that was a bit of a collaboration apparently, because we've got Vatican, devil folk, us, and the elixirs, the Phoenixes.
Damn. All right. Well, interesting. So, and no word from any of them as far as we're concerned, or is there any suspicion that somebody else went rogue?
According to spies in every agency we were able to get our hands on, everyone had their own operatives go dark around the same time.
And you said it was in Germany, right?
Well, they were headed towards Germany. If I pull this map up here, let me see. Where's I? Looks like they made it to about Slovakia before they lost contact.
This is a bit of a long shot, but you don't happen to have anything in the records referencing a vampire who was involved in the Third Reich, went by the name of the Colonel.
Now that name's a bit more popular. Give me a sec.
Right.
A few more minutes. Colonel, by the name of Colonel Datillo, supposedly active Third Reich member. Well, goes by many names. Most recent alias, Colonel Datillo, was active in the Bay of Pigs. And looks like he's been a sort of a glorified shit stirrer for a while now. Goes around stirring up vampire activity, organizing them, making them more dangerous, looking for whatever it is he's got his eyes on, and moves out as soon as he's done and leaves a slightly more advanced and slightly more dangerous vampire population in his wake.
That sounds like it might be our boy. He'll turn to the others while he's still on the phone and says, we've got a reference to Colonel Datillo. Might be our fella.
Datillo?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start Googling that.
That's the most recent name that we had. Different names throughout the years. German, obviously, French, Italian. Datillo is the most recent one that we've got names on.
Brilliant. Perfect, Crowley. I appreciate it. I'll look for those files and just brew up a pot of something to keep your eyes wide, because I might need to ring you back.
You're going to get the next one on shift if you're more than about 15 minutes.
Well, do me a favor, if you would, before you knock off, just let them know that I might be calling in. They can keep this stuff handy.
Yeah, it'll be Benjamin, so.
Cheers, Crowley. I'll bring you back a T-shirt.
All right.
Something cheery. I know how you like bright colors.
Oh, lovely.
All right. Get some rest. Thanks again.
I'm knackered. He hangs up.
All right.
I just want to say that it is doubly funny that you chose that accent for a character named Crowley, because just make it a little raspier and you were Mark Shepard.
I have a somewhat related to this GM question. What was the title, name, description we got from the mage monk guy about the person who made the thing that?
It was Alexander the Fate Weaver.
Okay. So it seems that, like a lot of stuff, different factions at play here have different ideas about the origin of this item.
More or less.
Attributing it to their own, that seems...
I mean, that's part of the course. Nobody knows exactly the truth, so they hear secondhand stories and so on and so forth and yada yada yada, and then, you know, all of a sudden.
Well, I think the big problem, Colleen sort of speaks up, is that according to what I've learned from Brother Kindness, it really doesn't matter what they think it is, because the God Machine can do whatever they want it to.
Right.
If they get their hands on it, then they would essentially have the Crimson Veil or whatever other artifact whoever's looking for, in essence.
Right.
Yeah, it just means that tracking it down based on any of those origins is going to be more challenging.
And it
If
sounds
something
like
has singular sourceable origins, you can potentially track a chain of custody. Not so much if everyone thinks it's from somewhere different.
and I'll dial Sean back in and get him back on a speakerphone just so he can be taking part in the conversation.
Hello.
And I assume Eamon is close enough to hear as well.
You're muted, Jack.
I think at this point we're probably driving to you.
Okay.
I had one more stop to make. I had to pick up some more ammunition.
We're running an errand for my brother, and then we're driving to you.
Yeah. All right. So
you do know that the armory, well, he's also your contact back to the Vatican, but Brother Seamus is also the requisition.
I'd be driving over to Seamus to get. I'm getting a 5 and 7. I'm getting a 5.7, which actually, sorry, no, I'll be getting a 1911. And some armor-piercing 45 caliber rounds.
Just because that reminded me, once Paul's off the phone, I will say, I'd have to check the state laws, but if you need a firearm and don't feel like continuing to borrow, we can probably get you something.
Paul smiles and says, "No, I think by and large, let's keep the firearms in the hands of the people who can use them best."
I mean, clearly, Paul, you care very much about following every law in the books.
Right,
So,
of course. Anything else would simply be insulting.
Look, every time we've gotten into a fight, someone different has handed you a gun.
You're not wrong.
Offering that I could hand you a gun because I'm not using one.
Right, exactly. And while I'm not saying that you and I are in the same boat, I'm saying that I also deal with specific visual difficulties trying to locate targets that are specifically far away from me. So I don't want to run the risk of picking someone else off, but I appreciate the suggestion.
As he sort of vaguely indicates the pearl, the like mother of pearl eye.
Exactly.
Pro tip: if you've got those concerns, best thing to do is not tell the heavily armored armed allies is that whatever you borrow is your gun of choice. Because they will interpret that as, let me find you something fancy.
You are now about to get a gun. If we're calling everybody in, he holds up her phone. We're short a person. Should we assume that she needs family time, or?
He asked me not to interrupt and said that she would connect, but
fair enough.
And it's about this time, Eamon, that your phone rings.
Oh, somebody finally wants to talk to me now.
This is right after Paul was like, "Eamon, can you hear us?"
You're always worthy unpopular.
Hey, Eamon. I was wondering if you guys had found out anything more about Jonas.
Well, we went down into the sewers and took a look around, but the man's definitely gone to ground, as it were. Left his phone. We don't think we've gotten back in touch with Nina to see if she was able to crack anything into that. But if you need updates, we'll let you know as soon as we find anything. Everything all right on your end?
Yeah, everything's okay.
How's the brother?
He's here.
Oh, he's a walking corpse.
Yeah. He's still vampire.
Didn't quite expect that to change anytime soon, but good to know you're keeping an eye on it.
I found out a little bit of information from him about the Colonel.
Oh, aye, good. Well, we've been. Everyone's got this weird conference call thing going on, but they're trying to find out more about the Veil. But if you've got some information on that, Sean, can we get? There's a hookup kind of thing. I'll figure it out. We'll get you looped in on this.
Okay.
30 minutes
will-
later.
What is the roll I have to make to try and conference call an existing call into Eamon's from
I imagine whoever has dots of tech very slowly talks the
Yes.
button through the process.
I have 1 dot in computer.
I
Roll-
have like 3.
I guess I didn't take computers because I grew up
I
where I
have
grew up.
no dots in computers.
if you're trying to figure this out without relying on someone else because you want to do it your goddamn self,
Yep.
roll me wits and computers.
Yes. He is not going to spend willpower on this, and he is accidentally going to hang up on Astrid.
Conference call functionality on modern smartphones, for the record.
0 success.
You accidentally hang up on Astrid.
Look at all those ones.
It is. This is kind of a tangent, but it is really bad.
So at one
How'd you get Astrid in on this call?
at some point, Eamon is like, "Hang on, I think I got click, bing, bing," and it just hangs up.
Yeah, at one point Nina's just gonna be like, everybody hang up, and she just calls everybody individually. Start from a baseline, you work from there.
We're all on our phones.
As Nina is acting as the conference hub.
You're getting feedback from Eamon and Sean's phones because we're in the same in a van together.
As
I
soon as
presume
Eamon
that we
and
only needed to
Astrid
call
are
one of
both
them.
back on the call, he's like, I fixed it.
Sure you did.
All right.
Paul will catch the Mulcahy's and Astrid up on what he's already passed on to the others.
Cool.
Mhm.
And also say, so the other thing of interest, I think, is it doesn't look like we're the first coalition to take a crack at this thing.
Yeah.
That last mission back in the 50s was also almost all the same, except instead of the Union, there were some of the Phoenix fellas.
I look forward to improving our results.
Well,
Not exactly.
here's hoping you'll be the magic element that changes the results then. And he smiles at Nina.
I mean, it's not exactly a thing where you have we don't
Yeah.
really have a control for this. So.
William, that matches what I know about.
Yes, yeah. Based on what Lucifuge records are, the coalition was very similar to this group, with the exception of it didn't have supposedly Knights of St. Adrian, and it had Ascending Ones and did not have Union.
And, Astrid. But yeah. That was for taking down Dracula, I guess we're going with.
No, my impression was that it was an attempt to at least clear out the castle. I didn't get the impression that it was one of the times that he had come back. Am I wrong in that, William?
No, you're not. But
Okay.
that is an interesting overlap in the information that both of you have, is that the team that enacted the final raid upon Dracula that supposedly killed him had a equally varied composition to the team 50 years ago that attempted to raid Dracula and supposedly escaped.
Okay, so these are two different.
Two different stories that are similar enough that with the information that you had would have a little bit of crossbleed.
So as that cross goes through, Drew is like, oh, I hate repeating cycles. I have a complicated relationship with repeating cycles.
You are repeating cycle.
Just you don't know that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wait, so we're saying that we keep putting random ass groups of hunters together to try and do this, and they keep fucking it up.
Well, that's definitely an interpretation. It could also be convenience who happens to have high scale collaboration tends to be consistent across time period, or it could be somehow fundamentally linked to this artifact or otherwise magically predestined.
Well, for all those poor fuckers that tried it before and ended up dying, who had Irishmen on the team?
I imagine not very many.
How many of them had Satanists on the team?
Look, nobody goes around raving about the look of the Satanists.
In fact, the look of the Satanists have historically been very poor.
Different circles, Eamon.
There is a moment where Drew's eyes almost flash black.
The look of Satanists have historically been very poor as well.
No, just the loud, annoying ones.
So it's more of a marketing issue.
I choose not to be self-aware about that statement.
Anyway, digression aside,
we've got some fun toys, and we're gonna pick up my brother a new blade, and then we'll be on our way.
All right, we'll probably be back at the apartment at that point. I have a phone to hack, and
you need us to grab you ice cream on our way out.
Yes, please.
That'd be lovely.
A pint of chocolate.
And a pint of raspberry.
Easy enough.
Miss Astrid, are you going to be joining us for the evening, or are you staying where you're at?
I'm going to stay at my place tonight.
Right. Keep your phone handy in case you need anything.
I will.
Eamon, she did just basically say she was going to stay the night with a vampire.
I was going to say, do you want someone to stay there with you just in case?
I think I'm okay.
Okay. Do me a favor. Can we set up, like, give us a call or text every hour just to let us know? And if we don't get one, we know to come over and...
Okay, I'm not going to text you while I'm sleeping.
Well, obviously.
So then if I sleep and miss a text, you're going to freak out.
It's okay, I don't know where you live anyway.
Not only is that a bad idea, it's also a bad idea because we don't know where
I'm workshopping ways to potential... This is open to debate interpretation.
Dawn's gonna be whatever time dawn is in this part of the country.
About 5 hours.
Text us at that point, because then either you're safe or we need to pick up the body.
I think I'll be fine, but I'll text you guys at that point.
Thank you.
We just need to know if we have to go on a killing vendetta or not.
I don't think he's going to hurt me.
I think the more important thing is we need to know where we are directing the killing vendetta, because I feel like we're going on one regardless. It's just whether it's in the direction of people who ultimately kill you or random things.
I think we need to direct it towards the Colonel.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's less of a vendetta and more pleasure.
Right. Yeah, let's not rule out the fact that he was involved, because it does seem to overlap with his area of operations back in the 50s. It doesn't sound like he picked it up at that point, but he was certainly going for it. So, from the playing field a bit.
Anyways, we have some stops to make. You have some ice cream to buy. We'll see you in a bit.
Paul leans over to Colleen and says, I'm glad I didn't promise you a perfectly normal ice cream expedition. We did get the ice cream. We also got news about Dracula from the Pope. So
I like that it's been the Vatican archives have been interpreted as the Pope.
Because the Pope has...
It all comes from the top.
The Pope is theoretically the representational embodiment of the Vatican to some religious extent.
And Paul is trying to make her laugh.
Which she does. And you also notice that while she's been going at this ice cream, it has not melted even a bit.
That does not surprise me. Paul files that note away, quite literally.
Opens up a filing cabinet, writes a note, puts it in, closes it. We all ask where the filing cabinet came from.
He opens up. The next time he has a chance, he pretends he's texting and makes a note of it in the files on his phone.
There you go.
Pretends he's texting. Ice cream doesn't melt.
It's It's a little animation of a filing cabinet opening and closing whenever he opens the app and closes the app.
Yeah.
Problem?
I guess he literally digitally files it.
As long as she is using her reality-destroyingly powerful abilities for the sake of ice cream retention, I think we're okay.
This is where Paul, as his grand reveal, rips off his coat, and there's a Baskin-Robbins outfit on under it. He stuffs her in a bag and runs away.
I feel like there's a Deadpool reference here.
Yes.
Anyways, so
No, that's Ant-Man.
we stop at Brother Seamus. I'm picking up a 1911, some armor-piercing 45 rounds, and then I guess Eamon will be picking up a new blade or two.
Well, she goes this pointy and sharp.
Well, are you looking for obvious or just plain old?
Give him you have a Scottish claymore.
I do.
Give it
Do
to
you
him.
want it?
I mean, you're tempting. Let's go for something a little more obvious. Why not?
You can mutter under your breath and no one will notice.
It's not wrong.
All right, so you want the claymore?
Sure, let's see it.
So he goes into he goes into one of the back rooms, and a few minutes later walks back out with like a massive fucking briefcase, like attaché case, but like the size of like the length of a person almost.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of sets it up, sets it down, flips the locks, lifts it open, and there is like a pristine Scottish claymore, like with the decorative I don't know what to call them other than clubs, because that's what they're called, or because that's what they're called in like a deck of cards, but the little club designs that go on the edge of the crossguard.
Yep. Awesome.
Overs?
Only costs
Maybe, yeah.
dice. Only costs 3 dots.
So would this one have, I assume, great sword stats to it then?
Yeah, this would be a great sword.
Okay.
It's not quite as Zweihander.
Right. Yep. Well, that's Hey, that'll do the trick.
Probably also get you a Gladius just in case, but still.
No, I think the kukri will handle for the closer range, faster stuff, and this one's for the heavy lifting, as it were.
There you go.
And he'll pick it up and smile very widely. Right then.
He'll let you take the case if you want it.
Oh, aye, that's quite gracious of you.
Need to get you a back hanger. You just walk around town with it.
I can't be muttering my ass around town all the time.
Just tell people you're going to a convention.
It's a little bit easier to conceal if you just keep it in the case. Then people just wonder why you have a really long briefcase.
Yes.
Right. You can just keep telling people you're going to a convention. There's always one here every other weekend.
All right, well.
It's fine. I have a sharp metal weapon that's clearly actually heavy. I'm going to a convention.
Fine.
You just hope that no one knows what cosplay actually requires.
Well, this is gonna be brilliant.
Then we're on our way back to that.
Yep.
When we get there, I immediately walk up to wherever Paul is and hand him a 1911.
All right.
Keep this on your person. Because Drew was 100% correct.
Perfect. I'm going to roll. What would I roll plus firearms to make myself look competent? Checking to see if it's loaded.
Presence and firearms.
Presence and firearms. Okay.
To look competent is presence.
Check on that.
Yes, you can only wits and empathy.
1.
He looks like he knows what he's doing. Maybe.
Mainly, I mean, he's not trying to spin it around like a gunslinger or anything. He's just trying to check and make sure there's not something in the chamber and that the safety is on.
I wait until after you do that to hold out the magazine.
Okay.
Only use it when you need it.
Of course. Just in case. If we find ourselves in another target-rich environment like with the ghost owls, I'll make sure to break it out.
There you go.
And Drew, you can tell that he's just trying to put on confidence.
And then he'll. I feel like I got some sort of holster last time.
This one will have one with it.
Okay,
Typically,
fair
when you
enough.
buy a
All
gun,
right.
it comes with a holster.
All right. Then he'll put it in the holster and put the magazine.
I will then toss Nina a box that has a lion's head on it and says Regulus 50 AE.
I said 45.
They are 45s. It's the brand name.
Okay.
45 caliber armor piercing rounds.
Okay, I was gonna say.
So
You're already on my shit list. Don't give me the wrong caliber.
No, they're the 45 round AC, 45 round armor piercing round.
All right.
Because armor piercing rounds will probably come in handy soon. And for your caliber of what's the damage rating on your gun?
3.
3? Okay. Then they provide, I think 1
an
point of
AP.
armor piercing.
I think it's an AP of 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nowhere to note that on the attack, is there?
Nope, not really.
I have no idea.
Cool.
This guy.
I got it. AP 1.
Actually, no. With AP 2. Sorry, with damage of 3, which is more than 290 again or more. It's AP 2.
Oh, okay.
My
That's
rifle is AP 3. Yeah, it's based on.
It says 2 in the title, so we will remember.
There you go.
Yeah.
Which means we will forget anyway. But
Right.
The Winchester, by the way, whenever you're using the Winchester, it also has AP rounds. It's AP 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
trying so
Now I recommend we all.
supernatural jokes. You are not making it easy on me, people.
What?
Winchester, Crowley. We've been having a very supernatural episode tonight.
I look around and hold out my hands. There's the ice cream.
Oh, I ate it.
It's in the freezer.
Grab my pint. Grab Eamon's pint. Hand it to Eamon. Grab a
I'm
spoon.
joking. I didn't eat it. I did lick it, though.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't.
No, Eamon just looks at you and very deliberately takes a bite and licks his mouth.
And the two brothers eat ice cream out of the pints with a spoon.
Yeah.
First of all, that is how you eat ice cream.
Yes.
And at some point, there's an overlap moment with Astrid.
That is absolutely how I eat ice cream. I just always get funny looks whenever I eat ice cream that way.
That is absolutely the correct way to eat ice cream.
Definitely. I did that this week.
It really depends on the ice cream because it is a pain to get at the second half in certain shapes of.
There was only one spoon, so I'm eating mine with a fork.
There are many spoons. You don't tell me how many spoons I have in my apartment.
I was making a thing to make fun of
I know.
Jack.
I know.
No, there might be spoons available, but forks
Yes.
are clearly the superior option
Yes,
here.
there we go.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know what fictional environment you guys are living in.
I am currently
The world of
eating
darkness.
ice cream with a fork.
So Austin actually uses chopsticks.
To eat ice cream?
Yeah.
Fair
Now
enough.
that's just weird.
He would. He would.
Like for consistent ice cream or for things that have like chunks in it?
No, just for ice cream.
For any amount of ice cream.
I'm impressed and confused.
I understand, but also think that it would be much easier in like things that have significant chunks of stuff. Anyway.
So, Astrid, what are you up to?
After she gets off the phone to him, she'll go over to where Archer is and just let him know about like Jonas and everything.
Oh, well, that's concerning.
Yeah.
Not exactly fond of the idea of our mentor disappearing in the middle of a fight with a bunch of shadow werewolves.
No, it's nothing good. Do you know anything about Dracula, by the way?
I barely know anything about vampires in general, being one.
Just curious.
I mean, Alexander might.
If you could ask him at some point, we're just trying to find some information.
Yeah, I'll
Alexander, what do you know about Dracula?
Into it.
Okay.
I mean, they've got a similar motif.
Alexander is Dracula, then he eats you.
Eamon is chuckling into his ice cream for absolutely no reason right now.
It's probably because I'm telling the story. I'm retelling the story of how the werewolf got exploded.
Probably.
I'm also about like 80% sure that the rest of the group thinks that you're gonna eat me by morning.
I mean, did you express to them that I was appalled at the idea of drinking my sister's blood?
I didn't actually. It's a little more fun this way.
Okay. I mean, if it's for the sake of a joke, I get it.
So, Nina, which one do you want to be the safe room?
Define safe.
Like, we get attacked and assaulted and the monsters are coming in the doors and the windows. Which one is the room where we make our stand?
Bedroom.
Right. I'm going to go poke around your bedroom for a bit.
You say that like you make that sound so inviting.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And satisfied that he apparently guessed the right response to that, he's going to go do his warding benediction in Nina's bedroom.
Won't be the first person.
Right.
Make me a roll.
I'm trying to figure out if that's an insult or just statement of fact.
Statement of fact.
Okay.
Statement of fact.
Everyone
Definitely.
at one point has prayed that the condom didn't break.
All right. So it's an extended roll. Cost me a willpower to enact it, but I just keep making rolls of resolve +5 until I get a number of successes equal to the number of square yards of Nina's bedroom. Which I'm going to say is probably like 30. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a big
It's going to be a
bedroom.
lot.
That's a lot of square footage if you're talking yards.
Oh, that's true. Square yards, not
Yeah.
square.
You could probably
Uh,
ward the You could probably ward the entire apartment, really.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep it going and see how it pans out.
It's an apartment above a warehouse. I would say in square yardage, you
divide the square footage by 9 to find the square yards.
Eamon, really quick.
By 3.
Just to be clear.
Because it's 3 on the side.
What would break the ward?
It's not so much that which breaks it is that it makes it rather distressing to be in the area if you're, supernatural asshole.
I pause for a second. I look over at Drew. I look back.
Drew's going to be fine.
Okay. So what you're saying is there aren't
Drew
really
will sort of look up from wherever he's been sitting. I'd like to reintroduce you to my actual demon dog.
Wait, what?
You would need 16 successes.
Figured it out.
Yeah, the dog's a demon. Has no one ever figured that out?
No, because every time something demonically has happened, Nina has not been in the vicinity.
Oh.
Right, so
this is Crowley. He is my bound familiar. He obeys me, but is supernatural. I don't expect a barrier typically applies, but not sure.
Well, if you'd rather, we can make it so. I mean, we can pick out like, that it only works against, say,
You can specify.
Well, you can specify either one individual or everything. So, unless we've got one particular person that we're worried about specifically coming tonight,
it's fine.
It might be a little iffy for Crowley.
If we set up some, I don't know, demonic kibble in the warehouse, can he chill down there? I don't mind.
The physical form is actually a dog. I thought that you, follower of Satan, would be kneeling to my dog at this point.
Okay, we need to reiterate. I am a non-theistic Satanist. I don't believe Satan is a real thing, or at least, let me rephrase that. I don't worship the real Satan. I worship a symbol of that as the adversary, because that is just, the adversary is just as important to the cosmic truth of things as the supposed benevolent protector.
You're one of those people that play D&D and like goes after the evil gods, right?
I mean,
try to pretend what you worship is something different is actually relevant. And I come from a background of actually a thing that might, yes, take a non-theistic form for you, but is definitely
legit. But Lucifer and Satan aren't even the same person in Gnostic lore. So
I'm going to cut this argument right down the middle by informing you that if the dog is affected by the blessing, it's only going to put him to sleep, like napping until the blessing is lifted. It's not going to kill him.
Well, and also it's only going to be in the one room. Crowley will be perfectly safe wandering about out here in sort of the common areas.
It may actually be worth testing to know for sure.
I mean, if you like. All right, well, I'll go get started on my thing. You guys keep up your theological debates as long as you need. And,
it'll protect against ghosts, demons, vampires, and all manner of other.
Also, for the record, I am technically human.
Yeah, you're fine.
Right. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay, I don't have a ton of experience with you. I just wanted to make sure. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I was looking
Eamon's going to go look in the cabinets for a canister of salt.
Forgiveness comes after.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm the one who's supposed to be preaching here. Now, both of you be quiet.
As far as I can tell, you're not particularly theistic yourself.
No, I'm not. But hey, the collar's a good bite guard. I say tugging on my collar that is made of metal.
How many successes do I need, did you say, William?
16.
16. There's 6.
10 more.
Each roll is only a minute. So
7. I started off well. People are shouting very loudly about their theology in the room, and I'm getting distracted. There's 10.
Yeah, non-ironically, Paul has drifted into the doorway, I think, and is watching as Eamon does this, just because he'd like to see it happen this time.
So Eamon is literally just pouring,
by the way,
salt in a thin line around the base of the perimeter of the room, muttering to himself. And occasionally drawing a symbol on the wall just with his thumb, no like actual material, but just like inscribing a sigil.
By the way, is anybody hurt still from the fights we've been having?
Raise his hand.
Do you mind if I put my hand on your shoulder?
Go ahead.
I will perform the Hands of St. Luke. You have what? You have one.
There we go.
Aggravated damage.
I have one of the second level.
Yeah, one lethal or one aggravated.
One lethal.
Does Paul have
a second to reread my ability that I promised I would reread before this week?
Hellfire hits you with an aggravated damage.
Okay.
Okay, so one aggravated. Okay, I can cure that. It just takes a exceptional success.
No worries.
What is your virtue?
My virtue is justice.
Okay, so I don't get an.
But you do with me.
But I do, and I am going to spend a willpower for.
Out of curiosity, mechanically, is that if somebody shares your virtue?
Yeah,
if somebody's virtue is faith.
If someone shares my virtue.
Oh, is it if it shares your virtue? Okay.
No, it is specifically if someone's virtue is faith.
Oh, okay.
If the person you're healing's virtue is faith, you get an extra.
Yeah. If the injured character's virtue is faith, there's an extra die.
There it is.
That's neat. It's a cool mechanic.
I have the probably proper vice, just not the proper virtue.
Add an extra 5 dice to that.
Me?
Because it's October 18th.
Oh, is it? Oh, hey, hell yeah.
Nope.
I heal you.
The one day of the year.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the fact that you rolled 16 dice and only managed to get 5 successes off that shit.
Yeah.
Statistically,
sorry I didn't give you that last session. I've been trying to figure out where chronologically this campaign sits, and I was okay, because dates are important for the benedictions.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I'm really sorry. I accidentally clicked unmute just as I took a bite of pretzel. So I'm sorry to everyone.
So I downgrade the aggravated damage to lethal, and then I continue praying. As dogs continue to bark at my prayers.
Yes, they do.
For some reason, my dog has gone off and witnessed a whole bunch of murders.
And I heal your lethal damage back to full. So.
Okay. Nice.
There is this warm yellowish light, like sunlight, emanating from my palm into your shoulder, and your wound.
And Drew's eyes, while they're still almost entirely glassed over, no longer have scorch marks around them.
Exactly.
There you go. By the power of the Lord, be healed. Anyways, anyone else require some assistance?
Nope. And Nina has grabbed the phone and is walking over to her computer setup.
What is Colleen doing?
Colleen, at this moment, having finished her ice cream, is currently prepping her evening dreamless tonic. Hopefully a little bit stronger than last time.
William, just because it might help with that one last bit of lethal damage that Eamon has, do you want me to roll that extra 5 dice for the healing I did to him yesterday? Or last session?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll 5 more dice. That's 1 success.
1 success, so you would have reduced 1 more lethal to bashing or bashing to gone.
Cool.
I don't remember actually what that last point of damage you had was, but
it was lethal.
Which means if it was down to bashing, it'd be gone by now.
It'd be gone by now, yep.
Sweet. So, with that said, Colleen prepares a slightly stronger mix for her dreamless tonic for the evening.
I wonder if that would help.
You need a hand. Everything all right?
I think I'm just gonna make it a little stronger. I'm thinking double portion of whiskey.
If we see anything terrifying, should we wake you up?
Yeah, wake me up.
What worked last time?
Will do. Why don't you go ahead then, and as soon as you've got it mixed up, I'll try to get some rest.
Mm-hmm. And she kind of walks over to the couch with her tonic mixed up and looks up at the ceiling, kind of shuts her eyes for a second, kind of mutters under her breath, knocks it back, and then lays down, and about a half second later is unconscious.
Okay. Any mist rolling in? Paul's going to go check out the windows.
You're going to check out the windows. There's no mysterious fog rolling in at the moment.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on it. It didn't start right away last time.
I think he'll actually grab us.
I don't know why my dogs are so upset tonight.
You have any mist rolling in at your place, Will?
What's your benediction rating, Jack?
5.
So it would have to be super powerful to continue moving in that room.
Or just super strong at least, because it affects strength specifically.
Well, no, it accepts presence. You subtract... Oh, sorry, for ghost and spirit. No, yeah, presence or power if it's a ghost or spirit for anything that seeks to enter the area, and if it reduces it to 0, it can't get in.
Yeah, okay.
So anything that you'd have to have more than 5 dots to get in.
I feel like the God machine can override that.
Absolutely, yes, but
yeah, we're not particularly concerned about Colleen.
Right. But any monster trying to get in will have its strength, intelligence, and presence all reduced by up to 5. And if that drops any of those to 0, it can't use any actions that rely on that attribute.
Okay, so Drew will essentially have Crowley go up to the barrier and see if it impacts him. It's a little unclear to me how different hunter types interact on this one.
What is Crowley's presence?
I mean, not that good.
Crowley can't enter the blessed area.
All right, so that's worth knowing for the future. My demon dog cannot actually enter, but
because or like sacred, or well, no, unholy familiar it may be, but it is still a demon.
Yeah.
So it is still technically a monster.
Crowley have to eat.
No.
Yeah. I have Drew will pull out just dry dog food.
Yeah. It can, but it doesn't need to. If you have to go a long time without food, it will be fine.
There's stuff in the fridge if you want to throw, I don't know. Maybe it's like a normal dog and chocolate will kill it, and I don't want that to happen. So you figure it out. But
not testing that.
Mikasa, Sukasa, etc.
He's not actually mine. I'm just watching him for someone else.
Ah, the secret flaw of the canine legions of hell. Cacao.
For the record, he is a demon in a dog shell.
Yeah.
Not a hell dog.
Demon in a dog shell. Demon power.
I was gonna say.
God damn it.
Right. So, okay, there's a lot to unpack in what you just said. We will cover that later.
What's there to unpack?
I have a lot of curiosity questions that we'll get to. Right now, I really need to hack this phone, and that'll be done easier with at least a couple of shots in me. So,
What kind?
I don't care. Surprise me.
I will reach into a box, pull out a bottle that looks like wine.
I mean, keep it GHB free, but beyond that, like...
Pour out some bourbon, slide it over.
Awesome. And I will get to trying to break into our erstwhile benefactor's phone.
That's sipping whiskey, so be careful.
Clang!
Roll me intelligence and computers.
Meanwhile, Eamon's over here trying to figure out the actual lyrics to Teenage Mutant Canine Hellspawn.
Teenage Mutant Canine Hellspawn. Teenage Mutant Canine Hellspawn. Teenage Mutant.
I don't think Crowley is a teenage anything at this point.
Demons in a dog shell. Demon power.
I mean, that's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. So you get it off of the lock screen. You manage to get through the lock screen, and immediately upon exiting the lock screen, the phone's background and the entire surface of the phone screen is lit up with a gray background with an overlaid symbol over the top of it. As I have to take a second to breathe because my breath is messing.
Breathe. Make sure you breathe. That is helpful.
It generally is, yes.
I'm also having difficulty breathing, so I'm right there with you. My sinuses are like, hey, you don't need to breathe.
The symbol is it's a circle. It's a circular symbol with the image of a halo near the top, with sort of lines indicating rays of light traveling down from it in the background. The foreground is a pair of gladiuses crossed beneath the halo that sort of superimpose over everything, including the ring, which they sort of just barely reach outside of.
Right.
The text that is appearing on the screen is just sort of a red flash that just repeats the phrase emergency protocol initiated, Sigma situation recognized.
Okay, so a couple things. Does the whole symbol thing look familiar to me?
Not to you.
Anybody know what this is? I have a feeling that I need to get a quick answer.
I will.
Looking at it.
I'm also looking
Do
at it.
I know?
The people who might be able to tell, Astrid would know immediately, but Astrid's not there. The people who might be able to tell are the Mulcahy's.
I'm looking at it.
And Paul.
What do I need to roll?
If I don't recognize it, I'm calling Astrid.
Yeah. To attempt to recognize it would be wits and occult.
I'll spend another.
And you've shown it to all of us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Sorry, I lost
2
my
successes.
character.
2 successes.
Yep. So
3 for Paul.
As Drew is getting his phone to try and call Astrid, both Paul and Sean recognize that this is sort of the symbol that it identifies the Knights of St. Adrian group.
Okay.
The symbol of the Knights of St. Adrian.
Sweet. I'm going to. Can I try to figure out what it's asking me for and how to bypass that?
Roll me wits and computers.
Okay.
Yes, the Knights of St. Adrian, also known as the sidearm of the angels, which means their symbol is crossed gladiuses.
Come on. Fuck you, dice.
You're not certain. It's some kind of lockout procedure that you would have to know what Sigma protocol or what the Sigma situation is.
Is that something I can try to help with?
Here, hold this for a second. Hand you the phone. Do it. You take a picture. I think Drew was going to do this anyways with the overall thing, so it would have been done anyway. But
right. Can I try a wits and computer roll?
Sure, if you want to.
I am not as good, but does this count as this doesn't count as a security system, right?
Actually, it does.
Yeah.
Okay. Still have to use computer as the skill, though, right?
Yes.
Not my best, but at least I have a specialization in it. That's a +1.
Yep.
2 success.
Nice. So it's definitely, there is some form of condition that was triggered when the phone presumably was left on the ground, which has caused it to basically force override any and all commands beyond the lock screen, which is requesting permission from someone who knows the override code for the Sigma situation to acknowledge that the Sigma situation has ended.
Did I manage to get through to Astrid?
Yes.
Okay.
So at this point, Astrid, your phone is ringing. If you knew what the Sigma situation is, you might be able to narrow down what you might need to prove that it's over.
Okay.
But you don't. Sigma is 18th letter of the Greek alphabet. It has a value of 200 in numerals. That it could have a different number of meanings based on who's using it.
I mean, given the city we're in, it's probably an emergency at a frat at Georgia Tech is my guess, but
has Astrid picked up yet?
Oh, Astrid will answer when she hears it go off. Hello?
Hey, I sent you a picture of something we found trying to get into Jonas's phone.
She'll look at it.
Oh. So you see again the symbol of your order, the symbol of Knights of St. Adrian, overlaid with the text of lockdown of system lockdown, Sigma situation recognized. You can roll me if you want to know, if you want to try and remember what the Sigma situation is, or try and see if you know. You can roll me intelligence and occult and add your dots in your conspiracy if you have any, which you have 3 status for Knights of St. Adrian, so you can add 3.
Okay. Okay, I had it set to attack roll. Do I want
No, you want a sheet roll. Yeah.
Okay.
Three successes. So the Sigma situation is essentially the Sigma situation is essentially the I expect to die and want my information passed securely to the next member. It is the I am locking down until someone else of my order can get hold of this. It's a dead drop.
Okay. She'll convey that to them.
Is it something that we should just hand it over to you, leave it alone?
You know that to alleviate the Sigma situation, you have to know that individual's passcode to unlock their equipment from the Sigma situation, which he did not give to you. You would need to find someone who knew, which could require you to contact back to home base.
Okay. I think I need to figure out who would know this, because he did not tell me.
Okay.
Right. Should I make sure everyone else stops messing around with it, or?
Probably for right now. Let me contact Knights of St. Adrian.
Okay. Drew will sort of. It's a Knights of St. Adrian thing, specifically some sort of dead drop, which confirms what we mostly wanted to know, and they're going to need to do internal private things. So
yeah, she very quickly just powers off the phone and sets it down.
Well, we can get that to you when we meet up tomorrow, unless there's something urgent, in which case let us know what we need to do.
Okay. I'll give them a call and I'll let you guys know.
All right. Night.
As you hang up the phone, Archer's just something up.
Yeah, they were trying to get into Jonas's phone. And I think I need to contact Knights of St. Adrian.
Why?
I'm sorry, what was it called again?
The Sigma situation.
All right. The Sigma situation.
I know that code.
Oh.
Oh, dang.
That was actually one of the last things he gave to me before I got snatched.
Okay. would you mind giving it to us so we could figure this out?
It's a complex stream of alphanumeric characters. It's probably better if I just unlock it for you.
Okay. I'll call them back. I'll have someone drop off the phone so we can figure it out.
All right.
She'll go ahead and give Drew a call back.
Hey. Figure anything out?
Yeah, actually, Archer has it.
Okay. Do you think I'm not gonna judge your brother, but do you think he likely changed it since the person who had the code was a MIA vampire? Or do we think let's give the phone to Archer, that should work?
I'm honestly not sure. If somebody could just like drop the phone by, we could see, and if it doesn't work, I'll contact Knights of St. Adrian.
Can we get an address?
Oh, right. She'll text the address.
Yeah. Anyone specific you do or don't want this shared with?
No.
Okay.
That's fine.
Phone closed. Who's up for a late night ride? We need to make a drop it.
I'll take Nina. I'll take Nina. Better to go in pairs.
I was just gonna drive it over there on my bike, but
better to go in pairs in case.
You're not wrong. Still taking my bike.
Yeah. I'll give Nina or Sean the address. Yeah.
You want me riding on the back of your bike?
No, I'm putting the bike in the back of your van.
Oh, that's fair. Roll the bike in the van.
Because no offense, but since we've all met, and it's not you guys, it's the life of what we do. Getting attacked by random monsters is not an uncommon occurrence, and should that happen and your van be wrecked, I want to be able to drive the fuck away.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I wanted, just for the record, Final Show Films has ruined me because that sounded like some form of sexual negotiation.
I
mean, first of all, are you saying it wasn't?
Yeah.
Second of all,
as I begin loading up my dragon's breath.
Aren't fathers supposed to be celibate?
Supposed to be. I never took my vows.
That was an out of character question.
Also, if that being the case, just makes it more appealing for Nina.
Nina likes a challenge.
Fuck yes.
I flip open the revolver of the Thunder 5, pull out half of the rounds that are in it, and replace them with red jacketed shotgun rounds. Flip it back in. All right, good to go.
Go.
Right. The two of you drive over to the apartment address listed.
Bike in van, people in van, van on road.
Yep.
And it takes you about 20, 30 minutes, but you pull up to the one lone little townhouse.
Walk up, knock on the door.
Astrid will answer.
Hey. Reach out. Hold it out.
Now, what are the chances that if you try to unlock that and you fail, it locks itself up or blows up?
I mean, I tried to hack my way in and it didn't blow up.
Then I think we're good.
You got to a certain point and stopped, though, didn't you?
I assumed I probably would have at least.
You probably at least tried a couple of times.
I tried a couple of times just to test, like, password crack.
I think Sean has just gotten a taste for things blowing up and wants to see more of it.
Yeah.
I'm just cautious. I don't want nothing blown up in somebody's ears to the phone.
I mean, you don't put it up here while you're typing the numbers.
You don't? I do.
That explains a lot about you, Sean.
I'm not good with computers or technology. outside of putting a gun to somebody's head and firing.
She'll take it to Archer then.
I guess we'll wait down here.
Yep.
So, you bring it over to Archer. He sort of sets the phone down on the table. Okay. Flips it over and starts inputting this long, complex string of alphanumeric characters and symbols. And he's typing at a decent speed for about a full minute before the sequence is completed.
Man, celerity texting would be awesome.
Problem with that, phones still only recognize so many touches in a second.
Yeah, but it would be the fastest texting possible.
So that's what end keyless rollover is for. It's for celerity texting or celerity typing.
Yeah, he's specifically not using celerity because he doesn't want to accidentally mess something up in this super long key combination. Then after that, he inputs the passcode and it thinks for a couple of seconds. And then a green light highlights the text. Passcode accepted. Sigma situation recognized. Complete. And then it immediately opens up a recorded video, which shows Jonas's face against the backdrop of solid stone. Okay. Whoever might be getting this, I suspect I've either died or gone missing. And I had enough of a lead up to set up a Sigma situation, which means that only a couple of people are going to be able to get into this, which would be either folks back home or Archer.
Archer, since I know this is you, the phone explodes.
Archer, since I know this is you, the window nearby opens up.
If this is Archer, then I probably did this knowing that you were nearby. Because, let's be honest, I don't think either I or your sister have given up on you for a moment. And if you're getting this, then it means the things that I've been tracking down have also been tracking me. And the information that I've been hunting has gotten me caught. There are things out there that are darker than vampires, darker than werewolves, darker than demons in a lot of cases. But if I can attempt to shed some light with what I can without putting you in just as much danger as I am in right now. Archer, trust after your sister. I know she'll trust you. But keep an eye out for the things that move in the shadows. The shadow wolves, the things darker than vampires, the demons that are deeper than hell. There is good and bad in just about every mortal and just about every supernatural creature that exists. But there's bad and then there's worse. And it seems like the worse is getting riled up and grouped up. Something, and I think this is the real Terminus tendency, is making things that are darker than black wake up and get together. And if you're listening to this, then I'm either dead, captured, or gonna be dead soon. And whatever that situation looks like, you need to know that it's not the regular monsters you got to worry about. In fact, they're the least of your problems now. Whatever's going on with what all these creatures are seeking, if they're looking for it to hunt these blackest monstrosities, more power to them. Because what I've seen coming is hell on earth. And it needs to be stopped. Good luck, but I think it's... And he kind of looks over and fires a few shots off to the side. Sound of a gun going off. All right. This is the best I'm going to be able to get with this recording right now. Good luck. And the recording dies.
Was that the, like, can we play it again, or was that...
Yeah, you can play it again, but...
Okay. All right. Because aren't Sean and Nina, like, downstairs?
Yeah, meanwhile, downstairs, just sitting there smoking. So, like, so what do you think the odds that that's some kind of horrible trap, since one of the few people that knows how to open it apparently is now a vampire?
Well, odds are probably good 50-50, although, I mean, I haven't heard anything blow up yet.
I mean, to be fair, he doesn't seem to be a particularly... I know it's a sliding scale, but he doesn't seem to be a particularly bad one.
I mean, there's not bad and then there's really, really bad, so...
Oh, I know. I'm not... You know, believe me, I'm one of those people that, like, I watched Buffy and I was like, kill him! Kill him! And not just because he was annoying as shit.
Fair enough, fair enough. Never could get into Buffy.
What does Nina have against Xander?
Xander was a perfectly fine character until Nicholas Brendan started to have issues. But anyways.
Never could get into Buffy. It was too melodramatic.
I mean, that's part of the fun. You see a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and you know exactly what you're stepping into, and yet at the same time, no idea whatsoever.
Yeah, but if I wanted to, you know, step into that sort of a show, I'd just go out and do my job.
So Astrid's going to take the phone down.
I was 12.
Fair enough. When I was 12, I was shaking people for money back in Ireland.
Good for you.
I mean, I'm not...
walking in.
So, good news, bad news.
I think you guys should see this. There's a video, and she'll play it.
Oh, that's automatically bad news. Videos are never good.
Rarely are, yes.
And that entire sequence that I just did plays again.
I mean, do it again. Come on, let's have.
Where's my verisimilitude?
You have to do it every time.
I can't consistently give that same performance twice in a row.
We take it back and show it to everyone else, but Eamon's in the shower. So
we'll splice it in.
Cut to. Right, so, as my accent goes for no reason, apparently. I was doing good. I had it for such a long time, and then it went. Well, that looks like a...
Well...
That sounds like a bit of business, doesn't it?
That's just fucked up. Like...
So something is happening underneath the surface, kind of like those werewolves, and we need to be paying attention for, in addition to dealing with our Nazi vampires.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
We should probably let the rest of the group know.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like we should still go after the Nazi vampires first, because you have your dessert before you get to the nasty stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a aperitif. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. It's the appetizer.
Also, I really just want to kill a Nazi vampire.
I mean, right?
How many chances do you get to say it?
Talk about all the things that you do not have to feel bad in the slightest about killing.
At all.
And the other vampire sitting in the corner.
Not a Nazi.
He's not a Nazi vampire. He said, I don't think he is. If he is, I'll have to apologize to his sister.
No, I'm not.
There you go. No. It's like, yes, but shotgun blast.
Not a Nazi vampire.
No, I feel like that would have come up.
Theoretically. Astrid goes, well, I mean, we are white supremacists.
I've been keeping something from you guys.
Oh, wow.
Anyways. Right, well, shall we head back?
Yep, I will let you spread this good news. I like actually giving the actual good news, and that way they can associate you with the shitty news.
Fair enough.
All right.
Should we take the phone with us?
Yeah.
Take the phone, make sure not to lock it again.
Wait. If you just want to send the video, my understanding based on what was said is that there is potentially private organizational information on there. Am I correct in that?
There could be. You don't know if the Sigma situation might have like cleared out most of his contacts or anything, but what would have been on there prior would probably have been some, high top secret Knights of St. Adrian stuff.
At the same time, we don't necessarily
we'll just play the video for him.
Yeah, we don't necessarily want to.
We don't want to get in on.
Don't want to get on bad terms with the Knights, but at the same time, we also don't.
We're trying to kill Nazi vampires. We don't have time to pacify Knights of St. Adrian who are mad about it. Security breach.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to be nice to the Knight of St. Adrian we have directly in front of us. So
we also don't want to send the video. Just send the video as a message.
Don't forget the Knights are the ones that have the infinite ammo hack.
Right.
I don't need infinite ammo. I just need one.
I mean, whichever. We can take it and you can take it back. That's fine. Cool.
See you in the morning.
Yep. Yeah, bye.
Close the door, drive off. Head back, show video.
That's a right shitstorm, isn't it?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I'd like to listen to it again, please.
It plays for the fourth time.
In case there was anything anyone was missing, we play it a fifth time.
I mean, it does seem like it's the kind of thing that you would want to play multiple times just to reinforce yourself how many football fields over our head we are.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you on that one.
I mean, I was in here to murder some Nazi vampires, but it sounds like that's going to be literally chapter 1 of a much longer story.
Just sort of the appetizer, I think.
We should get some sleep.
Yep.
Astrid will call at dawn, hopefully. And then,
Isn't that like 15 minutes from now?
You've been at this for most of the night. You've got like 3 or 4 hours before dawn gets here.
I take my dragon off over to the window. I set up the bipod so that the bipod is resting on the windowsill, so that if I need to really quickly snap it up, I just grab and lift. And then I set up I grab a pillow and lay down next to it.
There are less pillows than you'd expect in this apartment.
Hey, Nina, where were those fucking Satan pillows you had?
I look over at Drew.
I curled up in the corner, or with my eyes closed and a wolf snuggled around me. Or dog.
Drew, where are my pillows? I'll just keep yelling at you until you wake up or give an answer.
I start searching through the building for pillows.
Not that hard. They're in the back of the closet.
Found them. They're in the closet. I'm coming out of the closet with pillows now.
Eamon pulls out a small notebook. On the front, it's just engraved in gold letters, "Things we are not going to tell the Holy See." And he writes down another thing.
And I will lay down on a Satan pillow. Is the Satan pillow made of satin?
No.
Satin Satan pillow.
Judging by having seen those at Wizard World, no, it's one of those.
Is it possibly silken?
I mean, they feel no. It's no. But
you need to
they
recover
do
them
feel
satin.
fairly comfortable.
Yeah, they're more like the stuffed animal kind of pillow consistency.
We'll get a satin pillow cover.
So that we can have a satin Satan pillow.
Yeah.
Eamon's going to find a spot as well. And he's going to make sure nobody's looking. And he's going to lay down, pull a blanket over, and he's going to grab that fang dagger and shove it under the pillow and just fall asleep with his hand on the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
Got a fang dagger and a claymore now. And you're packing.
Dude, I am loaded. I'm broke, but I'm loaded.
Does Nina have any armchairs or like recliners?
Probably, yeah.
Paul is sleeping in one of those.
The ultimate grandpa. Just like fall asleep in the recliner.
I like that everyone in this group is weirdly respectful about not just sleeping in Nina's bed.
Nina's really annoyed that nobody.
In fairness, I did when I was going to sleep before everyone.
Yeah.
But...
I'm sleeping at the spot where I can very quickly snap to and blow someone's head off.
Yeah, there are reasons for it.
Yep.
Not Eamon. Just
Eamon's sleeping on the piece of carpet that is closest to the door.
And then instant Irish snoring.
Yep.
William, I mentioned a thing I wanted to do. I don't know if that should be handled off stream or.
Let me see real quick, just because it's been a couple of weeks.
Sorry about that.
Jack, what does snores in Irish sound like?
Yes. So let's say that you do that over the course of this evening.
Yep.
So.
I can pull up
one long 8-hour inhale. That's all it is.
Well, guys, it's been fun being part of this campaign. I'm quit. Goodbye.
Here's the actual text of the thing. So
roll me wits and composure. Oh no, I need to roll this.
I need to roll it, which is why I just put the text in chat. I will reformat that so next time I do it, it doesn't.
True.
Yeah, and as a reminder, my visions are specifically my connection to him.
Yes. Wits. Composure. Not a bad dice pool.
Yeah. I have strong visions.
I do want to say that I like how the Hunter book lays out how you can R&D your own endowments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, here's a series of templates. Change the words around.
Yep. I like that in general, in World of Darkness, many of the abilities specific to each group feel very different and unique.
Yep.
Like, all of the stuff is useful, but it's also varied in ways that I like.
It is.
I just want to clarify. We doubled down on the whole bike in the van thing being a double entendre, but nobody's going to say anything about R&D your own endowments.
That was an out of character comment. So no, we're not acknowledging it because otherwise John will never stop.
Okay.
So as you dream over the course of this evening, for what few hours of sleep you can get, Drew, your dreams are focused on Jonas, not Jonas.
Jonas is your NPC. Jonah is mine. It's very
yeah, Jonah. Sorry, Jonah. Yes. Your dreams are focused on Jonah and what he knew in that particular focus. And you see him in Cairo, in Egypt. You don't know how you know this, but you know that it is Cairo as he stands among the more well-developed areas in this desert, in conversation with another man who slowly flicks a coin across each of his knuckles as he talks, as the two of them share bits of information. One of the few fleeting moments that you get to focus on is the coin in the individual's hand, which he eventually uses to indicate over his shoulder, and both yours and his gaze are drawn to the image of a locked door. And then it flashes. And you see the image of you see an actual locked door, not the image of one, but an actual one, covered in chains that mark across all of it and hold it shut. And you see the chains slowly begin to fall away, as the door slowly creaks open. You see on the inside unfathomable treasures, things of ancient knowledge, things of history, things of immutable power, things that should not be in the hands of mortals, and things that could be used to great good or great ill. All of them kept here in this secret place. And you see in your mind's eye the notion that this is where they should be. They should be kept here. They should be kept safe. But at the same time, the keepers are not always up to the task. You know that there is something of a misguidance among the keepers. And sometimes it takes the hand of one such as you to keep them on task. And that is the extent of your dreams for the evening.
All right.
And with that mysterious dream given, that is where we'll go ahead and end for the week.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
hybrid face of time and space and all that's in between. Dimensions twist and turn amidst the whims of one foreseen.
Drifting by, and I dream of the sky, my utopia.